got a huge show this morning. I hear Gronk in my ear. It's very weird. We will, of course, talk about the wild Falcons win. Kirk Cousins in the spotlight. What? Philly? What? Last night, we have Davante Adams on his epic performance in this Raiders comeback win in Baltimore against Gronk's AFC champion prediction winner, the Ravens. We'll get into all of that as we are headed full steam towards week 3. We've got the best deep threat in the NFL to kick it off, Rasheed Shaheed, fresh off the Saints' blowout win over the Cowboys in Dallas. And yes, did I tell you Gronk's here in studio? Oh my gosh, I could drop an F-bomb right here. Let's go! We just switched it up because it's Adams squared. Davante Adams joining the show shortly. We had to do the silver and black for the Raiders and their win, pulling it together, what it do for the confidence, all that going on. Davante Adams set to join the show in like 10 or so minutes. We're going to start it with Rasheed Shaheed of the Saints and their epic win. And then Gronk is somewhere, I believe in, oh God. Gronk, don't hit buttons. Gronk's hitting buttons back in the old control room. What are you doing, Gronk? Hey. Oh, God.
Hey.
What are you doing?
Just making sure the internet's working, Kay.
Okay, the internet's working great. What are we going to talk about today?
Rasheed Shaheed, how he's just dominated in the first 2 weeks. What about Davante Adams? What about that epic performance with that 13-point comeback by the Raiders?
Love
what else
that.
We have? Maybe we're going to talk about Shannon Sharpe as well. We'll see what's on tap.
You think Shannon Sharpe got. You think there's a conspiracy. It was a setup, Gronk.
He's got. Then he got.
All right, we'll get to Gronk in a bit, but first, let's talk a little bit about last night. This is going to be a wild show. Thanks for watching, everybody. Whether you're watching on the East Coast, on MSG Network, on YouTube, looking at the comments right now. Good morning from Chicago. Maybe we'll get to Caleb Williams, Gronk, the IT guy. Who knew? What can't the 4-time Super Bowl champion do? But I think there were a lot of questions about what Kirk can do in primetime. Back with a vengeance. He starts his career 0-9. That's hard to do. You lose 9 straight on Monday night. He's now won 4 of his last 5. And last night might have been the most freaking impressive yet, okay? He falls behind by 6. It's late in the fourth quarter. I'm like, this isn't going to happen. Is this going to happen? It took Kirk 6 plays, just 6 plays, grand total of 1 minute and 6 seconds to march his butt down the field with his Falcons, carving up the Eagles secondary. What were they looking at? What was the secondary doing? How did this happen? Game-winning score to Drake London. Touchdown, thing of beauty, as clutch as it gets. I liked that he didn't really celebrate till he got off the field. It didn't hit him, and then he threw his helmet. Loved every minute. Especially, you don't want to start 0-4 here, Falcons, in this division with as good as the Saints look, as good as the Bucs look, and speaking of the Bucs, Gronk will be here in a minute to talk about that. Let's listen to Kirk and let him have his moment on the show.
Yeah, it's so important to find ways to win, and that's how you put together a great season is, when you have these games that could go either way, you find a way to have it break your way. And that's the way this league is. And so when we can find those inches, it can really change the tail of the season.
Just feels like things changed for the Falcons last night. A team that I expected to see out the gates after the big offseason with Raw there, of course, setting the tone. They went toe-to-toe with one of the NFC's best in their building, one of the toughest places to play, keeping a high-flying Eagles offense, even though they didn't have A.J. Brown, under control and then finding a way to close it out. Kirk looked better overall last night. We're talking about the Achilles. The 2-minute drill, as sharp as it gets. I think the worries about the Achilles can be put to bed. The Falcons are here. They've entered the chat in the NFC. And by the way, the NFC South might be the most fun division in all of football. And speaking of the NFC South, I could not be more excited. Not only do we have Davante Adams, 4-time Super Bowl champion Rob Gronkowski, but Rasheed Shaheed, who plays for the team that at the end of the rainbow of the NFL season, that is where the Super Bowl is and where this team wants to go. Let's bring in the guy who's now top 10 in the NFL in receiving. We're a wide receiver, all-pro punt returner, 2-0 Saints. Rasheed Shaheed, 2-0 Saints, let's go.
It feels good. Feels good.
It feels good. Tell me what it felt like. Let's just get right into it. Maybe we'll get to the Falcons in a little bit. You, of course, play the Eagles, and that's coming up. But we have to start with the game, and we have to start with what happened in Dallas. Second game in a row, get the win, but that 70-yard play, talk me through it and what you were thinking.
Right. Man, that was a play that we practiced all week, and it came down to executing the play. Derek threw out a great ball. We saw a cover two, kind of split the safeties right there. QB had amazing time due to the O-line blocking the butt off, and he laid it out there for me. I just had to go get it.
That mouthpiece swinging around in front of your face doesn't distract you?
It doesn't. I get that asked a lot.
What is the deal with that? What do I need to know?
A pink mouthpiece. I wear that in support of breast cancer awareness. That is going to be on my mouthpiece or
Amazing.
on my face mask every game. But yeah, I don't know why I don't wear it. It kind of doesn't really make sense, huh?
No, I just wanted to know. I love it. I mean, if it helps you score 70-yard touchdowns week in, week out, and it looks like that's what this offense is. You know, it's hard to sustain what is going on here. Why should we all believe it's going to continue with you, with Derek, with Clint Kubiak, with Olave? Let's go.
Yeah, no, I just feel like as an offense, we're really in sync right now. We believe, we go out, and we believe in a play caller. He's putting us in great situations and great positions to go out and just make plays. We go out and we play free, and it's a completely different feeling than the years I've been here. I feel like we're a lot
Yeah, you've scored
closer
11.
in the locker room, and we just got to continue to
I like the
improve.
disco lights. I like the celebration. I love Dennis Allen. It was amazing because you're in their house. They don't lose there, not in the regular season. And you went in there and you didn't just take it to them. You dismantled them. It was a thing of beauty. I think, everyone wants the Cowboys to lose. Everyone's cheering for the Saints. It's kind of nice. You've scored 11 touchdowns in your career. The average distance, Rashid, is so stupid. Do you know how long it is? Your average
I don't. I would love to hear it.
51.4 yards. Stupid. Insane. You went from being undrafted to the best deep threat and the best return man in the league. Yeah, I said it. Did you always know you'd be a Pro Bowler and an All-Pro at that level in this? This is insane.
I can't say that I did. I'm kind of still, living the dream. I'm just glad to be in the conversations of some of the great players in this league and, to be able to continue to go out and make plays for my team and help us win. It means everything. A guy like me who is undrafted, had every reason to, kind of relax and chill. But, I continue to stay focused and listen to my veterans and continue to get better each and every day. And now it's all coming into kind of fruition. I got to keep my foot on the gas.
Shaheed, you weren't even invited to the combine.
I wasn't. I was hurt.
What would you have put up in the 40?
I think I would have ran low 4.3s, maybe possible 4.2. Hopefully, that probably would have boosted my stock a little bit, but.
Okay, it's pretty fast. I'm so excited to talk to you. Derek Carr looked so incredible. Everyone's surprised. Everyone's looking for a reason to say it's not real. It's all Clint Kubiak. He, of course, deserves his love. What do you want to say about Derek Carr to people who might doubt him, even people in New Orleans?
Right, man, that dude is super locked in. He doesn't hear the outside noise. He just comes into work each and every day and competes his butt off. Super happy for him. He's a guy that we look to as a QB1. He's the leader of this offense and of this team. And, his approach each and every day, it continues to allow us guys to come in each and every day and know that we got to be just as locked in as he is. And, his success is going to continue. And we just got to continue to keep working with him. And sky is the limit.
I love the Michael Jackson celly. He rushes for a touchdown. We have Davante Adams on the show in just a little bit. He knows Derek Carr has always been a believer of him since day one. When I went to Metairie, and I didn't get to say hi to you, I'm so sad. I saw you on the field, though. I sat with Derek and I said, what is the one word to describe you going into this season? What is the one? And you know what he said to me? He said, settled. I'm settled. And I would like you to tell me sort of the word that you can use to describe your quarterback's growth or evolution since last year to now.
Man, that's tough. He's a lot of things. I would say determined. He's super determined. Like I said, each and every day he comes in with the same mindset. First guy here, last guy to leave. And, he leads us and he gives us young guys, especially guys like me and Chris, confidence to go out there and just be ourselves and just play fast. And, we want to continue to make plays for him. He's an amazing person on and off the field. And he's just that guy and a guy we look towards And I continue to, look forward to seeing his success.
He told me everything is a yes this offseason. Like if a player needs him there, somebody asks him a question, somebody wants to get in some extra work, it's a yes. Have you found that as far as his leadership?
Absolutely. I feel like overall he's just more comfortable around all the guys in the locker room. He's got his feet settled. That's exactly the word that he used. And, it feels that way, that he's just more comfortable, around all of us and it's showing on Sundays. He's coming in and working butt off. And, he continues to win the locker room and continues to be great.
Clint Kubiak is a maniac, it sounds like, from what I see, right? He's putting you at tailback. He's running toss plays to you with Taysom Hill leading the way at fullback. I feel like I know he's a maniac, but he's kind of a mystery. What's one thing we need to know about Clint Kubiak?
Clint Kubiak is a funny guy. He actually has a great personality, especially in the meeting rooms. But outside of the meeting rooms, he's super locked in and he's super focused. He barely looks up from his clipboard during the games. I love it, though. I love how he's utilizing all of our weapons, and it's making it fun. He gives us confidence, and he has a lot of confidence in us. So this allows us to go out and play free, and we got to continue to make plays for him. And I feel like the sky's the limit for us.
Congrats on the success. You've got the Eagles this week. Do you know you have 169 receiving yards. You're tied for 8th in the league in receiving. Do you have any idea who you're tied with?
No clue.
No? Let me introduce them to you. Davante Adams, welcome to the show. Here's Rasheed Shaheed. You both are tied for 8th in receiving yards, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, no, that's what's up. It was good, bro. I'm proud of you, man. Keep going.
What's going on? Appreciate you, man. Legend.
No doubt, man. I'm trying to get you up on the wall one of these days.
Oh, yeah, got to.
This has become a thing now to get on Davante Adams' wall of jerseys here. Rashid, obviously there's the Derek Carr connection. You both have him. Davante, you're watching these games with Derek Carr and these first two. What are you thinking when you're watching this?
Well, I'm thinking he's doing right by getting that man right there the ball. That's for sure. I mean, I heard the stat you said about his average touchdowns over the course of his career, over 11 touchdowns is 50 yards, which is insane. Mm-hmm. So anytime you got a player that's dynamic like that, and I do think that some of his is going to continue to evolve as far as the love that he gets, and I think he's getting some of the early Tyreek love right now, the speed and the stretch the field and all of that. But if you really pay attention to his game, the man can play. He can run routes. He got the best coach in the world over there to work with right now. So. He's only going to get better, so I'm locked in. He first got my attention when I seen 22 running a bomb down the right side. I'm like, I don't know how many times I've seen number 22 running a go route, but yeah, that man is he's a baller. I'm looking forward to seeing him continue to evolve in this league.
I appreciate that.
Rashid, it's a pretty cool morning for you. I know you're a big Drew Brees fan. I know, right, Rashid? You grew up loving Drew Brees. You asked him to autograph a photo for you. Love this. You got to get the jersey because I know that's one that Davante Adams has on his wall.
Yeah, got my Super Bowl winners on top.
Well, yeah, look at that. Can we see it again, Davante? There we go. It's very cute. Yeah. It's very cute, but you guys are tied. This is, this can't keep going this way. Shaheed, you've got the Eagles. Davante has the Panthers. I'm going to keep in score of this. By the way, you two meet in Week 17, so that jersey swap can happen.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
You got to make it happen. Yeah.
All right. Appreciate you, Rashid. Congrats. Good luck with the Eagles. If their defense looks like what it looked like on that last drive last night, I don't think that this offense is stopping or relenting being the number one offense in the NFL. It's not a joke. I mean it. Appreciate you, and we'll be back after this. We have Davante Adams on the show. Rob Gronkowski is in studio. Davante, you're not excited enough for how excited I am to talk about that catch. Oh, God.
One, we're going to break.
Oh, my God. What is happening?
Look at him.
We're going to break. Gronk is coming on next.
What is happening? Oh, my God. How terrible.
Wow, I did so good.
Oh, I'm so sad we couldn't hear him very well.
Listen, this is what you do? I didn't even do anything.
That's what I try to tell Kay. Tell Kay, though.
All right, first off, I was giving Kay all this credit for the show. It's all you guys that are on this show. Yeah, you guys are.
Can we go to the control room?
Yeah, you guys are. Yes.
Can I get a peek in the control room?
Nobody.
Oh, no. Well, Gronk's certainly bringing some energy. Hamilton. We got to get their internet working better. I'm so sad. Imagine getting to wake up and like Davante Adams pops in and tells you like, what?
That you're amazing and he's been seeing everything you did. That's
amazing.
Incredible.
I do have to ask him when he would get back on TV. Did he say best coach? Did he mean Dennis Allen or did he mean Cooper? What was that? Did you hear that?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I did hear that. You said
He's
you have the best coach.
What? Yeah. Well, now we know where we're starting.
Yeah.
I think he's listening to us backstage. I don't want to bring him in yet, but
yeah.
If he knew like what our text chain was on Sunday, Davante, we were like, let's fucking go. I was on a plane losing my mind about it. What were you gonna say, Richard? Oh yeah. No, just we couldn't be more invested. Like we're just like losing our minds on that last drive.
Well, I'm seeing it.
Okay, Gronk's like on an 11 out of 10.
How about him telling Richard his job is this is all you do?
That's what he said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I could do this.
It's like when, I'm trying to think. Remember when Bledsoe came on? He was like, it's not hard to call games. He like completely destroyed the entire broadcasting industry. Al Michaels is like, huh? By the way, Troy Aikman looking lean, huh? Did you notice that? Why are you looking so lean?
Yeah.
It's looking real.
It's got to be. Must be switching over to that 8 beer, you know?
I don't even know what to say about Shannon Sharp, but I feel like it's all I'm going to talk to Gronk about. I'll tell you that much.
Oh God, it seems like he's ready to go on that.
He wants to talk about that. Good luck. I'm going to hang out with Deshaun Jackson and LaShawn McCoy after the show on their podcast. Everyone should listen.
You are having a day.
We announced their podcast, by the way. And all they want to talk about is Shannon Sharp, and I'm like, I have no takes.
Sound the alarm, but it's time. Better get out my zone and out my way, out my way. Davante Adams has it for a touchdown. I don't play. Touchdown.
Three-time All-Pro, six-time Pro Bowler. On Sunday, he had an incredible game. I was screaming on the airplane, 110 yards and a touchdown, the most beautiful catch. And those you should not be able to question those kind of catches. When the toe drag is that beautiful, Davante, I don't think you can throw a flag. I don't think you can question him.
Yeah, I mean, it was something that they felt like they needed to look at for some reason. I wasn't too worried about it. It was a great ball, and then sometimes you get those opportunities to make a great play and one that'll hopefully live on forever. So, that was a fun one.
If you're rating it in terms of like degree of difficulty alone, where are you putting this catch as a wide receiver?
Am I grading it, or is this like a scale of 1 to 10? How are we doing this?
However you'd like. Like how difficult? Let's grade the catch.
I would say the catch. I mean, off execution, it was an A. Of difficulty, I would give it, if this was the Olympics in France, I'll probably have to give it a 9.1. 9.1.
I mean, I would go high. You're parallel to the ground, Davante. It doesn't make sense. Like this is why I failed physics, because I don't understand.
Yeah, no, physics, geometry, all of that. I feel like I did really well in. So I was kind of set up. I was set up to make this play. I saw it coming in. I put the coordinates in, and then just had to get the smooth criminal going and keep the feet down.
Did you see all the smooth criminal memes that started going around on social media after this?
Yeah, my family sent enough of them to me, so I seen them all for sure. I think I'm a little bit lower than what he was. I did hit the ground instead, though, but I did get pretty low to the ground.
I mean, Michael came back up, so let's. I don't know if you could come back up. That would have been a thing. You're wearing the chrome Air Jordan, the one lows. I feel like you were bound to do something special in this game. Can you sort of describe to me, like as somebody watching, I was excited, but what did that do? What sort of spark does that add? Not the shoes, but the catch to the team in that moment.
Well, I think the shoes themselves add a little spark to the team as well sometimes. Sometimes I watch some of my teammates walk around the locker room and everybody getting ready. And then, once I get the pads on, that's usually when the cleats go on and you'll see everybody looking around like, what's he wearing today? So sometimes we do get a spark off that. But being able to make a play like that is obviously, big and a very big moment in a game. That's when the big players got to show out and show up. So got called on, and AP obviously was relying on me to come through for the team and the rest of the team as well. So got opportunities, just had to convert.
You had a lot of really critical wins in your career. Big wins, big meaningful ones. Was this one special?
This one was big, man. This was one of the biggest wins for sure as a Raider. Hopefully we start getting in some bigger games, playoffs and all that type of stuff where I can, put something above it. But for right now, after losing that first divisional game, coming in and having a game that literally everybody wrote us off on. And, they said, you look at the screen and see all the predictions of everybody calling the game and, what they think the score is going to be. And, literally everybody had the Ravens winning, whether it's by 1 point or, multiple. And then to be 10-point underdogs is just, that was something that we took as disrespect. So we had to show up and didn't play a perfect game by any means, but did enough together to finish it off. So that definitely felt good.
And Max Crosby, I mean, he said that your locker room heard all of the critics, all the talking that happened after losing to the Patriots in week 1. And your coach said that you guys felt sort of slighted being the 10-point dogs that you're talking about. What happened at the half? Who's talking? What's being said? What led to the spark outside of your Jordans?
Yeah, well, I think it was a bunch of different people that contributed to, us being able to turn that around and speaking up. And it wasn't just at halftime, too. You saw everybody saw Max talking to Gardner after the pick and, stuff like that. That's just true leadership. That's real leadership because, it's easy for a guy specifically like Max that's out there wrecking the game every time he gets a chance, every time he touches the field. So to be able to jump in there right after making a stop, going and, stopping a tough offense, tough team like the Ravens, and then to, put your captain hat on and let them know you got them and to keep going. That was a big moment for us. And then at halftime, I came in and I talked to the offense, just let them know, we right there and the game is really ours to take. And, obviously they had all the pressure. They couldn't start 0-2, and everybody expected us to be 0-2. So, we just had to come out and finish it. And a couple guys spoke up and lit that fire and made some plays.
What did you say to Gardner?
I didn't say much to him in particular. I looked over to him after the pick. I let him kind of breathe and get his mind back right. And the defense was out on the field, and I looked over to him, and I just called his name and looked at him and smiled at him and just shook my head saying, basically, we're going to be all right. Don't worry about it. And, dude is one of the most mentally tough people I've been around, so I wasn't too much worried about him. But, it is a tough position to be in and a tough position to play, quarterback. So we try to be there for him and make sure he knows that, we got his back. But most times he's already got a good hold of everything mentally, and we just got to be there to support him as much as we can.
You saying that he's one of the most mentally tough people that you've been around, it carries a lot of weight. I'd like to hear more about that. What don't we know about that and how important that might be in that locker room?
Well, to have that type of trait is something that's just, it's imperative when you play the QB position because, 1 week you're going to have a great game and then 1 week you may, not have a great game. Or maybe it's just the front, half of the game where it doesn't start off how you want. So just being around him so far, I can tell by the way he responds to the critics. Some of our local beat writers had some BS on a hot mic that they were talking about him. And then for him to bounce back and go into a hostile environment like Baltimore, which obviously we know it's not just the environment, but the team itself is, a force. So to be able to snap out of, having not so great week 1 and then come in not so great first half and then to finish against a team like that, without me even saying it, it proves that he has that type of, mental toughness.
You got the Panthers. I know you're not going to look past them. They just changed their quarterback. There's a lot going on. You want to build. How do you build? You have this win. It's emotional. It's one of the biggest wins that you've had as a Raider. Gardner, he's second in the league in passing right now. We'll get to the other quarterback who's leading the league in passing in a second. But what's the specific thing that you're like, let's not relent, let's keep going? How can you build off this win?
We just got to use it as momentum, look at the tape and see all the good, positive things that we did, that led to us being in a position where we could, beat a team that's as good as Baltimore. And you don't want to take it lightly at all. I mean, it doesn't matter who you're playing. You got to go into that game with the right mindset. Obviously, the Panthers have been shown as of late to be, a Super Bowl caliber team. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, we haven't even shown to be a super consistent team yet. So this is a big step for us, being able to come back home, protect this home turf, and get a good win for our fans and for us, obviously. So we're all fired up about it. Like I said, nobody's taking this team lightly. It's still an NFL team with a lot of good football players. So we just got to figure out a way to win it. And, it could be sexy. It can be, not so much, but we just got to win at the end.
It's pretty sexy with that catch. I got to tell you, it's pretty nice. You were doing that. You were doing the smooth criminal. Then you had Derek Carr. He was doing an MJ celebration. It's hard to think of two dudes who had better week twos than you. What do you make of these dance moves? What is this?
The Bulldogs were on top. He set himself back a little bit with the MJ. I don't know about that one. I'm joking. I love it. I always endorse Derek getting up and dancing. I think he had the Dougie last year, and he had a lot of people surprised, but I was rocking with it. So I'm fired up, man. It's another one of those situations similar to what we're dealing with as the Raiders. That they got a good team over there, but obviously it's been a lot of up and down for Derek over the past few years. So for him to have a start like this is great for confidence and great for the rest of the team as well.
You were talking to Rasheed Shaheed, and you said something about best coach. You got the best coach over there. Who, what, why, where, what?
Receiver coach. My receiver coach from Fresno State is he's over there. He was with Baltimore last year or the past few years. So he moved over there, and now he's the head receiver guy, and he's getting to work with him. And you talk about technique, mindset, and all of the stuff that he helped me develop to be in the position that I am now and have the type of career that I've had, and I can attribute a lot of that to him. So you see the development in Rashid's game and what he's continuing to do, and it's fun to watch. So it's only going to get better. You're
talking about Keith Williams. See, Clint Kubiak getting all the love. We've got to give Keith Williams his due here on the show. But a lot of people don't believe in Derek Carr. They didn't believe in him as a Raider. They don't believe in him as a Saint even still. They're saying it's all on Kubiak. You know him. You Bulldogs. Yeah. You wanted to reunite with him, and it didn't work out. Why is this so unsurprising to you, and how frustrating is it to see people still, even now, have things to say?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's so hard to please people when you've been playing so long. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. It's the same situation with me. I have, almost 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns, over 100 catches last year, and the same, it was a down year. So when you've been playing for a long time, they want to see you continue to live at the top, and sometimes it's not as easy to do that. Football is the most team game and imperfect game that there is, so it's tough to come through as much as what you even want to. You obviously set it in your mind to be great, but it's not always easy to do that. So to see him be at the top, the middle, get hurt and be at the bottom in his mind, and have different things like that happen. I mean, the dude was up for MVP at some point in his career. I don't remember what year it was.
2016, when he had a great offensive line.
Yeah, exactly. So once, sometimes you just need a little bit of help, and whether it's the coaching or some of the other guys on the team and support staff, whatever it is, but it's good to see him rolling.
I noticed those stats you were rattling off were not on the screen.
No, they were not this time.
Tay, you memorize stats. What is that?
I don't know. Sometimes things jump out at me, and my brain holds on to certain information better than others. But yeah, sometimes I can remember a few things.
If you were to give me one sentence, now that it's all said and done, why didn't it work out with Derek Carr and the Raiders?
I think ultimately it was the same reason why it didn't work with the old staff. I just think that the fit wasn't right, and he came in, made plays, made me an All-Pro again, and we had a great year together. But it's tough to come in and and play in any system and work with any coach. And obviously we've seen Derek do that, I mean, probably 10 times over the course of his career. So sometimes it works better than others, but, you know, you can sometimes find a new home. And we've seen that with a bunch of different players, not just quarterbacks, where they'll find a new home and, you know, rejuvenate their career. So it wasn't the year he wanted last year either, but they were able to build and, you know, get on the same page with some of the receivers. And you're seeing that camaraderie continue to, you know, elevate and now they're rolling.
Aaron Rodgers is one of those guys trying to go somewhere else, make it happen with a different team. I feel like, I got to be honest, it's really frustrating. I feel like I haven't seen him. Every time I look up, it's the other quarterback. I think everyone's playing the keep away, time of possession, keep his ass on the bench. Like, I don't love seeing it. I love that they got a first real win, a good win as a Jet against those Titans. He had 2 touchdowns. To me, it doesn't look or feel super in sync fully yet, and I'm frustrated about it. And his anticipation, like, he's just psh, psh, psh. What's the hardest part of a new wide receiver set, whether or even running backs who are operating as number 2 and number 3 wide receivers, as Allen and Hall are? What's the hardest part about getting in sync with Aaron, who's just like ping, 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 ping?
Well, I mean, it's something that develops over time. You look at, you know, our connection that we had. It wasn't something that we established, you know, in 2016 we were rolling, and this is only his 2nd year there. In 2016 was my 3rd year with him. So, you know, we started going in the right direction, but it's something that you got to put a lot of time into, and sometimes it's not even just the practice reps. It needs to be a game rep, and it's something that you got to work on by going out there every week, and hopefully you can build quicker than slow. But sometimes it takes a little bit more, you know, time in, and different guys don't get the ball, you know, every single game. So it may take 4 weeks to get where you want to be, or even longer. So, you know, I hope for his sake and for the team. Obviously, I got a lot of boys over there with Allen and a lot of you know, former teammates. So I'm always rooting them on. But it's a tough process, man. They're working through it, and, you know, having Aaron over there, I'm never too worried that it won't work out. So,
but even with Aaron, it took y'all more than 4 weeks, right? It was, I would say, year 3 is when it really started clicking. And when you say timing, it freaks me out a little bit, because timing, I don't know how much time Aaron has. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the tough part when you start to be an old man like that. You don't have another 10 years to build with somebody. So,
what did you think? Did you hear he threw the touchdown to a wide receiver who was literally half his age, a 20-year-old wide receiver?
I did not see that, but that's insane, though. Who was it?
I'm trying to think of who it was. Who did he throw that? He was literally, who was it? Oh, it was Allen. It was Allen. Allen's 20, running back.
The running back.
Yeah,
okay.
Sorry. Yeah, he threw it to a guy half his age. I love that. Okay, I want to ask you a little bit, of course, about Jamar Chase before we bring in Gronk here. Can't wait to talk to you. Talk me through the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty that happened, right? He wants the missed hip drop penalty. Everyone's asking for it. It's not happening. The league's like, we're going to enforce this. What do you think about how frustrated he was?
Yeah, I think it's tough when I think it's a lot of just pent up aggression that they have and frustration over there. And you obviously got to be smarter at that point in the game. But I mean, you know, they're emphasizing the tackles leaving a little early, getting off the ball quick, and you see how quickly they're throwing that. So if you want to enforce, you know, a new rule, you gotta be willing to really enforce it. And so I understand his frustration, but either way, you got to keep it cool, you know, for the team's sake in that position.
All right, we're going to bring in Gronk. I don't know that you have a Gronk jersey. Here's Gronk. Gronk, Davante, you guys just talk for a while.
Davante, what's up, man? I'm a big fan. I love your game. And before we get started, I'm actually having a football watch party this Sunday, and one of my boys is coming over. He's the biggest Raiders fan of all time. So I'm just hoping that you could give Jack Capola, my bad, I'm a little off this morning. Jack Capola a shout out real quick. He'll love it, man. It'll be a great start to our Sunday watch party.
So cute.
Jack Capola?
Yeah, Jack Capola.
Jack Capola, man. My guy Gronk says you're a big fan of the Raiders. I hope you're a big fan of 1-7 as well. So shout out to you. You're getting a shout out here this morning up in Adams. Love you, man. I love all my Raiders fans. So continue to go. We're going to keep working for you, baby.
It's amazing. We're trying to fix Gronk's headset. We appreciate you doing that. He's trying
I
to
do
hear
appreciate that.
Do you hear it?
My headset. I can hear you, Kay,
All right,
but
go ahead,
I can't
Gronk.
hear you, Davante.
Go fix your headset. I'm going to keep
fix
talking.
my headset real quick, but I appreciate the love right there, my man.
You're running around too much. Let's talk about Marvin Harrison Jr. here, because every young wide receiver in the league is hitting you up for tips. Everyone's asking you stuff. We just saw Rashid. He was like, oh my gosh, I'm talking to Davante Adams. And then, of course, Marvin Harrison Jr. had a beautiful coming out party, a win against the Rams. What'd you make of that?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's funny to see how people just trip out over 1 week, and they looked at last week and they were on his head about that. And I always love seeing a receiver bounce back from a subpar performance, or maybe it wasn't even subpar performance, but it's just the people talking and doubting for prematurely. You can't count your chickens till they hatch. And sometimes this isn't even one of those situations because it's literally the second week of the season. So I'm proud of him, and 4 catches, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's pretty efficient. So I think they got somebody in that young kid over there for sure.
Love that. Okay, Gronk, now can you hear Davante?
Yeah, I can hear you now, Davante. Couldn't hear you before.
There we go.
He gave you the shout out.
I'm going to have to check it out after,
Yeah.
so I appreciate that love, my man. Thank you.
Got you, brother. No problem.
Davante, do you remember which team you had your first 100-yard game against?
I think it was against that young man right there.
Yes, it was. 2014, when we came to Green Bay. It was actually my first time playing in Green Bay at Lambeau Field, and it was one of the coolest experiences. I love it there. I think that's the best stadium to get that true football atmosphere. The fans are on top of you. They're going crazy. They're loud. It was about 2 degrees outside as well. It was the year that we won the Super Bowl, and no one knew about you yet, Davante. Coach Belichick was double teaming Cobb and other guys that you had, and then you were just freelancing. You went for 100 yards, and that was a heck of a game. What do you remember about it?
Yeah, I remember that was like the breakout game, I think they like to say, for me. I hadn't had anything, I think, even remotely close as far as production and efficiency. So it was good. It was good to get one of those going, because I think that kind of sparked it in everybody's mind that I could play a little bit. And a little bit, sometimes as a player what you can do, but being able to go out there and actually do it gives you a different level of confidence moving forward. So I remember that one like it was yesterday. I remember Revis being on Cobb in the slot, and then Browner moving to Jordy, and then that ended up switching at some point. And then once I started getting it in, I remember they ended up putting Browner on me, but unfortunately the beating continued regardless. So it was a good feeling.
Yeah, I remember that after the game, everyone's like, man, who's that Davante Adams guy? You definitely put a show on, and we've been hearing your name ever since. So congrats on that first 100-yard game versus us. And I remember, too, Clinton Dix was the first rounder that year at safety. I had a catch on like the 10-yard line going into the end zone. It took like 5 of you guys to take me down. I was just rolling over your whole defense left and right. But the final play of the game, if you remember, it was before you guys took a knee, actually. I was on a fade route for Clinton Dix, and it hit off my fingertips. It wasn't the final. There was 3 minutes left. It was our final drive. I almost caught the ball for the game winner. So what a game that was. I'll remember that game for the rest of my life. And
this should have been the Super Bowl matchup, boys. That's
it should have been.
Me sitting at home, I was like, this should have been it right here. And I remember Belichick saying, I have a plan for Jordy. I have a plan for Cobb. I'm not worried about the third guy. And I have a feeling Adams might have heard that.
Yeah, man, I did. And at that point, I didn't take it as too much disrespect, because you got to earn that respect first. And I don't think I had really earned that respect. So in my mind, it just kind of lit a fire and let me know, all right, you gotta change some things around and earn your respect around here. It's never just giving out. So I like to say that was a defining moment for me in my career.
Yeah, and 10 years later, here we are. You've got 4 Super Bowls. Davante's on his way to getting 1, which we love to see. Let's talk about last night really quick, because this Eagles-Falcons questionable call, all right? Third down, a minute and 46 left in the game. Saquon drops the pass. Interesting choice, giving Atlanta the time they needed for the game-winning drive. Davante, let's start with you. What did you make of this call?
Well, I'd never even seen the call, so that was actually I was busy being a dad yesterday, so I didn't even get to really watch the game. But it's always interesting to see just how these games turn out, and I think this year is going to be full of those types where whether it's a call or it's an upset, it's going to be a lot of interesting games going on this year, and I'm always looking forward to watching some good football regardless. So
what do you
either
make
way,
of it, Gronk?
it's good for me.
Yeah, I didn't mind the call. I mean, you're there to win the game. It was a call to win the game and seal the deal. And you have two options of that play. Jalen Hurts, it's either you dump it to Saquon Barkley, which it was a great call. He was wide open. He just, mishandled the football. I mean, that happens. Or if Jalen Hurts rolls out and there's no one open, he could run the ball. And if he doesn't get the first down, he could still run the clock out. So
I would love to have run the clock out.
Just an accident, and he just, mishandled that football. So great call, just didn't go as planned,
I keep hearing, Davante, before we let you go, I keep hearing about this Brock Bowers. I keep seeing how amazing he is out there. He had another big week helping you out, 9 grabs, 98 yards. Yeah. I would love to hear from both of you, Davante, and just you just don't see that from rookies in this league.
Well, I don't ever like to put any expectation on a young player, but I mean the type of kid that he is. I mean, he literally only cares about football, and he shows some promise of looking like this guy that's on the screen with us right now. Honestly, I don't want to do that to him or downplay what he's done, because he's one of the best to ever do it, and I totally mean that. But this young player is on a different level for a rookie, and I think Baltimore got a chance to feel that a little bit.
I agree with that, Davante. I mean, Brock Bowers, I was a big fan of him when he was with Georgia. The guy's a winner. The guy's a playmaker. Whenever the ball's thrown to him, I love his explosiveness after the catch. And I feel like he's on track, to be better than myself. I mean, I don't think he can, dominate in the trenches the way I dominated in the trenches, but just overall as a pass-catching tight end, I think he can surpass me in many situations. I mean, he already has 15 catches, the most by any rookie of all time in their first 2 games as a tight end. So shout out to Brock Bowers. I'm a big fan. I can't wait to, continue watching him.
And apologies to the Panthers who have to deal with him this week. Davante, congrats on the win. Insane. Did you see his catch? The parallel to
toe tapping.
What the heck was that? How does that, you're a math guy.
I mean, we expect catches like that.
How does that happen? Good luck
They're
against the Panthers.
We
appreciate you. You're the best, Davante. We appreciate it. Bye.
See you next week.
We'll be back. I want to dig in more to that Eagles-Falcons game. We'll dig into the trenches a little bit. He just said Brock Bowers could be better than you. Did you hear that?
He could
be. He's that good?
Yeah, he's
super
that good.
athletic.
15
After
catches.
The catch is crazy,
I mean,
too.
over 150 yards already.
That
First
shit
2
is
games.
Crazy.
Guy's a monster.
What are you doing in town?
I was with
your arms.
NFL.
You're so...
Cousins looks right, has a man, touchdown, Drake London.
Let's hype up Kirk, shall we? Here with Rob Gronkowski, 4-time Super Bowl champion. I thought Kirk can't win in big games.
Kirk can win big games. He just has to be down in the fourth quarter, with 2 minutes left. I mean, how many comeback wins does he have with the last drive of the game? I think over 15 in his career.
He's definitely done it. Bright lights, though, Monday night. He's never had a win, 0-9 on Monday Night Football.
Oh, really? That was his first time ever winning?
I think so, yeah.
Monday Night Football, too. Here's the problem, whenever, there's a final drive in the game, these defenses always go in this prevent mode where the safeties play so far back so they don't get burned. But they weren't getting burned all game, so what are you worried about? And then they go in that prevent defense. And how many times do you see an offense just march down the field, hit the check down for 5 yards, and they go for 15 more? They find that open hole for a 20-yard pass, and then all of a sudden, 4 plays into it, they're in the red zone. That prevent defense is the worst defense ever created in the history of football. I hate it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did he look back to you? Because there were at certain points at this game, people were tweeting about Penix, let's put him in. Kirk didn't look great. And there was no blitz. There was no, Fangio wasn't really giving it to him. I don't know what's going on with the pass rush with the Eagles. What did you, size up Kirk Cousins for me?
Kirk Cousins, I didn't see the whole entire game.
Okay.
I did see the last drive, and I was very impressed just how he just marched down the field. But
Yes,
like I said,
that.
the holes were just wide open with the wide receivers. But throughout the whole game, I feel like Kirk Cousins is still getting his feet wet.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still figuring out his targets that he has, his wide receivers, his running backs. He's just figuring out the offense as a whole. It was definitely a slow start, especially the first week. But that final drive, if that doesn't give them the confidence and the boost that they needed to continue that, then I don't know what will.
Are you feeling less confident about your Ravens after Davante Adams just dismantled them? Because let's be honest, Rob picked the Ravens and the Niners, which is great. It could still be them. They can turn it around, but they are 0-2 right now. How are you feeling?
I think they're going to still pick it up, I actually texted my friend who keeps feeding me all this information that he's a big Ravens fan. He's like, Ravens, I'm telling you, Henry, I'm telling you, he's just getting going. But I'm still on that train as well. I just feel like they need to figure it out more, and they barely losing.
What's
it's
the
like
problem?
they're in the close
What's the
game.
problem?
The problem is that they just don't know how to finish the games right now. You know, they barely lost to the Chiefs. You know, they let the Raiders come back and win when they're up by 13 points.
Crazy.
So I think they're going to put it together. Just a couple mishaps, but you know, when it all comes down to it, they're gonna get that streak going, and they're going to win games.
I'm going to ask you about the Niners because that was your NFC choice. It's mine as well. They, you know, obviously Christian's on IR right now. Deebo Samuel, he'll miss a couple of weeks with a calf injury. Some people, critics, if you will, they're saying that Purdy's only successful because of the guys that are around him and the system. How will he do without his stars, do you think?
I mean, that will definitely give us a test to see where Purdy is. I mean, you got Samuel going to be out. Christian McCaffrey's going to be out.
Who do they have this week?
But
Let me look.
they got so many weapons. I don't know why they're not producing. Why are they not putting up points like the New Orleans Saints every single week, week in and week out? That's the problem with the 49ers last year as well, is that they dominated some games, and then some games they just didn't show up and they couldn't produce. They should be producing week in and week out, especially with offensive-minded coach Kyle Shanahan, and then with all the weapons that they have. They need that it guy. I feel like they got a lot of weapons, but they just don't have like an it guy to turn it up. Yeah, Ayuk, I mean, he's a great guy, but look, he was holding out
George
the whole
Kittle?
time. George Kittle, they're great
Four-time
players.
All-Pro?
But I'm talking,
What do you
need
mean?
an it guy, like an it guy.
Who's
like Edelman was an it guy.
Are you telling
like the
me
guy
that Kittle's not an it guy?
He's an it guy, but like I'm talking like when it comes to crunch time, it's, hey, feed me that ball. I feel like, you know, they're great playmakers, and they all rely on the other one to make the play because there's so many great weapons. You know what I mean? When you have so many great players around you, you rely, oh, he's going to make the play. That guy's going to make the play. But when you don't have so many, like when Edelman was out there for
Brady made
or myself out there, it's give me that ball, feed me the ball.
Edelman missed a lot of time, and you missed a lot of time, and Brady made it guys out of Chris Hogan.
Because Brady was the it guy.
No disrespect to Hogan,
and
but
Hogan was kind of an it guy too. He had that mentality of feed me the ball, I want it, I'm going to do whatever.
It's mentality,
whatever it
you
takes.
think?
It's mentality, and I feel like Trent Williams has that mentality.
Yeah.
He would go out there and he tosses people around. That's what you want, and he's doing it 24/7.
Are you calling out the grittiness of this team? What
I
are
would
you
say
doing,
just
Rob?
that mentality. I mean, they should be dominating.
Yeah.
They should be. No matter who's on the field or whoever's down. They have so many replacement players as well. Their roster's stacked.
He's not finishing drives. That's what I'm looking at. Like, I feel like he's throwing a lot of. Does he lead the league in yards right now? I think he does. Brock Purdy's like that guy in a way, but finishing drives has been an issue. They've got the Rams this week. What do you think will happen?
Well, the Rams are depleted right now. They got guys out on the offense side of the ball. They're two-star players. I mean, they're not going to really move the ball. They depend on the Puka and Kupp so much that I don't know what they're going to do without them. And then their defense, you know, they got really no pass rush. They definitely miss Aaron Donald, that's for sure. They're probably giving him a call right now. Donald, what do we got to do to get you back? We need some pass rush.
Do you think he would? Do you think he could potentially?
I think Aaron Donald, I don't think he's going to come back, but I think he could literally step in and just play 45 plays if he just showed up.
Whitworth came on my show, and he made it seem like there's a world where he could come back, that he's...
I think there's a possibility. I mean, he could definitely...
33.
The guy, you saw him racing LaShawn McCoy the other week, and he was beating him in a race. And LaShawn McCoy is a fast guy, and he's still in shape to run fast as well. So Aaron Donald is an absolute monster. He can come back in the next 3 years and still dominate. But I think the San Fran 49ers will definitely get back on track playing the Rams and get a win for sure.
I think that the door to the NFC West is open. With the injuries to the Rams, who would have been my upset pick. Niners got to figure things out. I just feel like the door is open for the Cardinals.
Yes, and then
the Seahawks, who lead the division.
Yeah, they do. They're 2-0. They beat the Pats at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, which was pretty impressive because that's a well-coached team, the Patriots. I'm surprised with them as well, but I really liked what I saw out of Marvin Harrison Jr. and the Cardinals.
So did Davante.
They just couldn't close out the first week versus the Buffalo Bills, but that's going versus Josh Allen, who's the biggest dog ever. I mean, the guy is relentless. I love Josh Allen at the quarterback position, but the Arizona Cardinals, I liked what they were doing last week. I liked their performance. Kyler Murray, to watch him go when he's healthy and the zigzag and make all the defenders miss.
It's so frustrating when he's not.
Yes.
It's like, but he's a little. We'll take a break here. We'll actually be back with Gronk. I don't know if I can buy into Kyler. We'll talk about it. he's done this to me before. Like I feel like Kyler can be better than everyone.
He-
On the ground, through the air, like truly, better than Josh, better than Aaron. I think he has that. And then he'll do this and then he'll kill me the next week. Like I'd like, what is the this of it all? But maybe Marvin Harrison Jr., the rookie, a lot to put on him, but like maybe he can sort of make him be even. No?
I feel like he's a little inconsistent,
Yeah, he is.
Kyler Murray.
Very.
But when he is consistent and when he is feeling
he's,
it,
like, locked in.
he brings the play up of everyone around him
Doesn't that
so
piss
much.
you off? It makes you so
and
mad.
now that he does have Marvin Harrison Jr., a guy who's an extreme playmaker, he has no excuse to not show up every single week.
Can we talk about the pan thing?
But what?
Back on Up and Adams here with Rob Gronkowski. We've got Thursday Night Football. Jets, Pats, you in?
I'm all in.
What do you like about this game?
All right, what I like about this game, it's, two teams that need the win, Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Patriots covering the plus 8
Wow!
spread. No doubt about that. I think that's pretty wild that the Jets are getting that many points, that being favored by that much
6.5.
versus the Patriots. No, 8.5.
6. They
Oh.
changed it. 6.
Oh,
I just saw, right? 6.5.
oh. Well, I'm giving them 8.5 though.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Richard. Please speak. Go ahead. Tell us what you need us to know. Oh, okay. It is 6.5. You're saying Patriots are going to cover.
But for our spread,
8.5.
for our parlay, I'm giving the Patriots 8.5K.
Let's go. Love what they're doing. I mean, the over-under for them on the year was like 4.5 wins. Smashed it. They're going to do that. And we have our parlay. We've got the Patriots. We've got the Jets. We've got our parlay. We're putting one together. Listen, we got one leg right last week, so we've done a little bit better. Who you got?
I'm going with Stevenson, the running back for the Patriots.
Ramondre.
He's a number one. He's all downs running back. First, second, third. He's going to have over 80 yards rushing.
Running backs are so sexy in the league right now. They're running everywhere. I like him because they're going to try to keep Aaron's ass on the bench, and they're going to do that with Ramondre. I'm going to tack on that and say that he actually has a touchdown because he has scored in week 1 and week 2, and it happens again. And then you have, what's for your third? You have the 8.5?
Yes, I got the 8.5 alternate spread that the Patriots will cover. We're making it easy for all these people that
I
want
hope
to bet
so.
and win.
We just want improvement on one leg from last week. I will say Aaron Rodgers. He's not throwing much. 175 plus. That's what I'm going to go with. Geno Smith threw 300 plus on this defense. So I'm hoping Aaron Rodgers. 175 isn't crazy, right?
Not crazy at all. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a little breakout game. It's his
You
third
think
game.
so?
He's going to have more chemistry with
Short
wide
week. He's
receivers.
old. He might be tired.
He's going to be ready to go.
You think so?
Yes, he's going to have 200 yards passing.
200 yards, he says. All right, here we go, guys. Check it out. It's a no sweat same game parlay. Go and play it and head over. You can tail it or make your own no sweat. We'll be back tomorrow. Gronk, thanks for stopping by the show. You did it all today.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you. Go to the salad place. Fix the economy.
Green Lane.
Green Lane. You're awesome.